Hey there, it is a beautiful day and a very exciting day in the garden because it is time to plant the first container. Well, okay, so I have done a few containers from seed, but the first container from plants, I went down to the garden center to get things for the green stalk upstairs. You may have seen that video, but of course I bought too many things, and I wanted to do kind of a little bit of a like just all herb container anyways. I don't know, I was just kind of thinking that would be fun. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. I got a container that lined up, and I also have some lettuce, and I'll show you the plan of where that's gonna go, because that is also going to go in a container. We are growing lettuce from seed, but we are also growing from some starts just to have some lettuce now. So let me show you my kind of herb container, and then we will get into where the lettuce is gonna go. So the first thing that I got, for this herb container, the first thing that we needed was just an actual container. And I just have this plastic kind of pot. Let me pull it over here. It's just a little plastic pot. It's about 12 inches across. I had some of this mulch on it just to protect from just, the soil. I put in fresh soil in the fall because I wanted to have it full. I didn't want to have it empty, but I wanted to protect that soil. I didn't want it to lose a lot of the moisture and nutrients and anything, and just mulching it helped protect it. So the first thing I need to do is move the mulch out of here so that we can plant into this container. And I have 4, maybe 5 plants that are gonna go into this pot. Also, as I'm looking, speaking of container lettuces and containers this time of year, this is the arugula planter that I planted with you guys. It's not even a week later and we already have some sprouts. Look at those cute little arugula seedlings. They are adorable. Oh my gosh, I love arugula, and this is why I love it too. It's always so rewarding. It's always the first thing to grow. Okay, let me get the mulch out of here, get the camera set up, and then I'll show you what we're planting. Okay, so here's our container. We got to put in 1 purple sage. I think that's going to be really pretty, and kind of add a little bit of color. Want to have it kind of, colorful. I've got this really beautiful Rumex raspberry dressing. I guess I've never grown it. I guess you can add it to like salad dressings and different things. But I thought it was a really pretty leaf. So when I'm doing a container like this, I do look a little bit at the colors of the leaves together and what that's gonna look like. On the other side, I'm gonna put just some Greek oregano. This will do really beautifully throughout the season and probably end up kind of spilling in and around these plants, kind of going in different directions. And then in my last quadrant, same idea, this beautiful golden lemon thyme. So that will be kind of perfect to just sort of add a little bit of that yellow color. So we've got the purple, we got a little bit of the red. The oregano also has kind of some of these deep purpley tones. And then in the middle, because why not, I'm gonna stick one of these bib lettuce plants, because what would a spring container be without a little bit of lettuce? Now that's not gonna last all season. That lettuce is definitely going to bolt once once it gets hot out, but until then, it's such a pretty little container, and oh my gosh, this makes my heart really happy. I love being able to get plants into containers like this. All right, so I'm gonna put this herb container right here in a nice sunny spot. I may keep it here all year because the oregano and thyme, all those really do love the sun. Of course, as I said, that lettuce is not gonna make it through the summer, so even though it's in a sunny spot, I'm not gonna worry about trying to keep it in a shadier place to extend. The lettuce plus the herbs and everything are gonna take off and probably fill up this container really quickly. It's gonna be a really beautiful collection to have together. So the sage is a really nice flavor as well as being purple. I am actually going to try to grow that for my Thanksgiving turkey. I make a maple sage butter turkey and it's super delicious, but I need to have sage. So I figure I might as well grow it myself. And the thyme and oregano, I really usually add to like pasta sauces. Those are the biggest things for me where I like to eat these kinds of herbs. Again, I don't know about this raspberry dressing. I've never grown that, so maybe salads like they suggest. I'll have to try that out. But yeah, I tend to use a lot of oregano and a lot of thyme, and I actually dried a bunch of it last year, and that really ended up being really fun. I've been using all of my dried herbs. It was super easy, super simple. I do not have a complicated herb drying setup at all, and I dried a lot and I've used them all winter, and that was one of the best decisions I made. If you're on the edge about growing herbs or preserving them, I highly recommend, even if it's just like one little container like that, like you can put that on a doorstep, on a patio, even inside you could almost grow something like that, and then just dry them. I'll try to link, if I remember, I'll try to link my video about drying herbs because it was super, super easy. Again, not any kind of fancy setup, just like really easy in-house drying, and I've been using them all winter and absolutely loving it. So, all right, let's go plant some good things. Got baby girl hanging out with me too. Over here, we've got this couple of containers and we got this lettuce. So here's the plan. These containers I'm going to be switching out. We're going to be adding all kinds of things into them. They're ready to go. I can just pull out this viola. I actually might pull it out and move it into the big pot that I'm about to plant. And these cabbages are basically done. They're so leggy and weird, like I'm kind of done with them. But in this pot, I actually have the base. This was my banana plant last year. It wasn't a hardy banana, so it's not going to come back. I actually need to empty out all of the soil in here, but I planted some alliums just like on a random whim. These are going to be blooming in like a couple months, maybe like a month or two. So I don't want to take apart this container yet. So I figured I'll just put all of my Bib lettuces right in here and just fill up that container, and it'll at least refresh things a little bit. We'll see how it looks as far as how much room we have. Maybe I'll put, well, I don't know, maybe I'll put some lettuce in here. Maybe I'll refresh these containers too. We'll just see how it goes once I get started. It's always a little bit of a toss-up once I get going. Okay, I don't usually plant containers this empty, but it kind of looks cute. Don't mind the mess. We're gonna have to do a big garden cleanup. Yeah, like one little pot. I don't know. And then I at least refreshed this a little bit. I don't love it with the banana in the middle. It's not great, but it's the best we can do. It's the best we can do right now, and I have learned from experience that my tendency is to overplant things, to plant a bunch of spring stuff and then not have room for my summer things. So I am trying with this to meet in the middle and still have easy containers. Like I can pop out that head of lettuce and put it in something else, or plant like my peppers or whatever I want to plant around it. I just don't want to get myself so committed to my spring plantings that like come end of April, which is when I'm gonna want to plant all of my summer crops mid to end of April. If I have all these beautiful things growing, it's gonna make it hard. I don't want to waste those plants. On the other hand, it's a whole nother month to 6 weeks before I'm planting out all those summer plants. So I do want to have something growing in my garden. So this is always the like the war I have going on in my mind about like, what should I plant? Should I plant? Should I not? What should I do? I'm happy with this. I think this is a nice refresh. I was just sick of these cabbages. They're actually kind of pretty like once they're out of the ground, but they were not forming any kind of a head, and I don't know, they've been growing since the fall. So really their job was to get me through the winter with something green in the garden, and they did that really well. So that is good. Anyways, that's about all I gotta do today. It's so nice to get some things planted. It's so nice to get some plants. It was nice to go to the garden center and see like flats and flats of flowers and plants, and it means that spring is here. The willow is budding out. Everything is just starting to grow, and I can't believe we almost made it. The countdown to the last frost has officially begun, and the first containers are planted, so that is wonderful. I've got a lot of cleanup today, and honestly, I don't think I'm going to end up doing it. I am learning with gardening with children to pace myself, and so I'll come out and clean this up a different day. Right now, I'm just going to enjoy a little sunlight and look at these. Oh my, I just have to, I know all I do is show you violas, but I love all of these violas. They are blooming their little heads off. Look at this. They're so pretty. Now down here I have, these are daffodils. They were supposed to be hyacinths in these container. I don't know, not seeing any hyacinths. Yeah, this is the broken container. Anyways, my daffodils in my front yard, even though it's in the shade, are like up and blooming, and these are really slow. So I don't know what's going on with that. I think that's very interesting. I feel like my daffodils in containers last year really kept pace with everything that I had in the ground, but this year they're very, very slow. So I have no idea what that's about, but that's okay. Back here you see all the violas that I planted out. They are doing great. They seem pretty happy. I don't know, maybe I'll add, I feel like maybe in some future years I should add some bulbs in this area of the garden, because right now it's kind of empty. But again, part of the spring process. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep an eye on these daffodils. I'm just not sure why they're going so slow. They are a little bit in the shade. Maybe it's cooler on the roots because they're in a container. I'm not quite certain. If you have an idea, definitely let me know. Anyways, thank you as always for watching this video, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.